Talladega, it's big and bad and comes at you fast. This is the next stop in the NASCAR Cup playoffs. Who will be caught in the chaos and who will be celebrating at the end of the day? And I'm joined by our analyst, Brad Daugherty, owner of JTG Daugherty Racing, and Parker Kligerman, who has planted the flag at Talladega in the past as a driver in the Truck Series and had success there. So, hey, you guys know about pressure and playoffs. So, who's got the most pressure among the playoff drivers, Brad?
Yeah, for me, I think it just pops out. It's got to be Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace. I mean, Kyle Busch has just put himself in such a tough situation. We thought he would bounce back at Texas and surprise some people. Had a crash, and as you can see, he is way below the cut line. And then Bubba Wallace, for me, he has to finish second place in these next two races, and he got the Roval looming. So this is his opportunity. He had a great chance last week at Texas, couldn't quite get it done. He's really good at Talladega, so I think there's a ton of pressure on him to go out and try to win this race. So I picked those two guys out, but there's plenty more.
I have to agree with you because I think those two definitely are in a position where they look at Talladega as either makeup in Kyle Busch's case, or for Bubba Wallace, it's an opportunity. I think two other drivers that would stick out to me would be one, Kyle Larson. I know that's easy. He's on the bubble, but you look at his past in Superspeedway racing, and it is a bit checkered at times, right? He can get to the front, but there's just oftentimes he is caught up in the instance that he doesn't want to be. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I always believe as a racer that at Superspeedways, you create a lot of your own luck. And he finds a way to not be in the right place at the right time. So in a precarious position points-wise, I just think that's a tough situation. And then the other one that sticks out to me is Brad Keselowski. With RFK's speed and all they've shown and how good he is at Superspeedways, is this his shot? Is this his chance to finally get in victory lane and put aside the playoffs? This could be a massive opportunity for that 6 car and how well he's run at Superspeedways. So I have to think between all those drivers, those two, though, to me, really stick out as drivers for different reasons that are going into this Talladega race with either a little bit of pressure or this opportunity to finally do something really big to go get that first win for RFK in terms of Brad Keselowski. And I think if there's a place on the calendar that I would expect that, I think it's here at Talladega.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll throw out one name. I'll throw out Martin Truex Jr., the regular season champion, who has been just awful in these playoffs so far and, just can't even get a top 15 finish. And again, I would say that he's under pressure. I know how good he is on the road courses. You got the Roval coming up, but just the pressure, if they have another bad race, another bad finish and back down below the cut line or near it, it's going to be, oh boy, another bad race. And people talk about how momentum keeps building positively or negatively. What is it going to do to this team if they have another bad race? And again, this is a guy who's never won on a drafting track before. So he comes into the situation, you almost expect him to lose points. And if he loses a lot more, I think could be key. Well, that being said, okay, so Talladega is the wild card race. So I'll ask you guys, Brad first, who outside of a playoff spot could pull off victory on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, you come to Talladega again. There's multiple guys that are very, very capable, but the guy I'm really keeping my eye on is Erik Jones. It seems like every week he is in the mix and really racing hard. Good pit stop here or there to keep him, keep that track position gives Erik Jones a lot of opportunity. So I'm really thinking Erik Jones is going to shock some people. He could come into Talladega and absolutely win this race. So keep an eye on Erik Jones.
That's a good one, but I think you picked the wrong Eric. I got my eye on Aric Almirola, and actually more specifically, and sort of a broader group, the Stewart-Haas racing cars in general. I look at Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece. I know they're running the Ricky Bobby scheme to their cars, which is awesome and pretty hilarious. And I expect Chase Briscoe and Ryan Preece to have the opportunity to shake and bake at times. But look at what this race team did when we were last at our Superspeedway at Daytona. They had a tremendous amount of speed. They executed a high level in terms of working together and using strategy to their advantage and using that speed. So I really think if there's a team out there, a set of drivers that to me could spoil the show for the playoff drivers, it's got to be Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Aric Almirola. Those Stewart-Haas racing cars could find themselves in a position to, sort of control this race with the speed they've had at the Superspeedways and especially what they had at Daytona. So to me, you got three drivers there that could go out there and really upset the front of this field.
And you can find out starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday on NBC. His coverage of Talladega begins with Countdown to Green. And remember, with Talladega, it's the final 6 races of the season are all on NBC.